What is going on, everybody? We're back with another funded trader interview. This time we're joined by Andy. Welcome to the interview, Andy.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, it's good to have you here. For those that don't know, the Funded Trader is a funding firm which has a two-step evaluation program. Once you guys go through our two-step evaluation, you will then become a funded trader. So we are looking for the best traders that are out there to manage our capital. Andy has just completed phase 1 and 2, and he is about to become a funded trader. So we are looking to do these interviews with people who are newly funded, and then after they get payouts as well. So Andy's joining us. He's about to be funded tomorrow, I believe, is when you're getting your account.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's definitely exciting. Have you been funded before, or is this the first time?
Yeah. I was funded before. I was with FTMO about probably the start of the year. Last year, I think the end of last year, I had one payout and then I broke some rule and then lost the account. So then I found you guys.
Yeah, so you had a payout. We're starting to see a trend with our traders. When they get one payout, it's sort of like people implode and then fail the account for whatever reason. So what have you, since you've already been through that kind of situation where you got to pay out, maybe you were like celebrate whatever, for whatever reason it ended up going south. What are you going to do this time to kind of, navigate that situation a little bit better?
That for me, this time's a lot different because back then I've only been trading for just coming up for 2 years. So back then it was like I was still getting used to the prop firms rules and stuff, and it was just I didn't really see myself being consistent because I was failing. I was taking a challenge and then failing the challenge, and then I got my funded, and then after the first month, I basically failed again. So I had to go through it all again, and but this time for me, I'm just going to completely. I've got a lot of new rules for myself, for my own strategy as well. So my mindset's a lot better. I'm not planning to actually fail again. This is my account. I'm going to try and keep this account all year round. I'm just going to treat it like a business. It's not a case of I've just made X amount and then I'll just go and spend it. Like I'm not going to do that. It's all about keeping the account, being consistent, and then I can actually call myself a funded trader. Not just after 1 month, 2 months. Needs to be consistent.
Yeah, and I believe when we were discussing, you were like a bit hesitant to even do the interview because you're like, I want to wait a few months, get a few payouts, like that. Which is completely understandable. But I think from the field, from the viewpoint of a lot of these people who are not even passing the challenges, I mean, just getting into the situation you're in is quite the accomplishment. So obviously hearing kind of feedback from you as someone who's successfully passed both phases is definitely still, valuable to these people. So it's cool that you decided to hop on. Obviously, thanks for taking the time to come on. Let's go back a step. How did you get into Forex? You said it's been about 2 years. Like, walk us through in the beginning, kind of how you got into it, where you started.
The beginning, I think it was when COVID hit February last year. And then obviously it was a complete lockdown here in the UK. So I was on social media and stuff, just flicking through, and then I seen something come up, and I just clicked on it, and I was like, if this guy's doing it, then how can I not do it? So I started learning it. I think I was trying to trade stocks at the start, and I honestly never had a clue. And then I was looking at YouTube, all the stuff online, just constant graft, constant trying to learn it. And then I went straight into the deep end, put money in a live account, lost that, put more in, lost that again. So I was just constantly, but I knew that if somebody's making money doing this, so I knew that I can make money myself. Do you know what I mean? If I put in the graft, if I put in the work. So that's what I did. I've all it back. I've spent basically every day at the charts from I started. From that day I sat down and found that I've not stopped. I've just kept going and kept going and kept going. that was basically it, and I've not looked back. So I'm actually glad that I found it. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, that was the same, really the same process as myself. What are you doing as like your career right now?
well, I'm doing this full time now.
Okay, so you're doing this full time. At the time when you were just like browsing on Instagram and whatnot, did you basically get laid off because of the pandemic?
Yeah, basically,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of people were hearing the same kind of story. I mean, especially in these areas where it was really locked down for like a good period of time. I mean, it definitely ruined a lot of jobs
Yeah, that
that were going on, which is obviously unfortunate. But this is the same kind of the same situation as me, man. Like when I first got into the trading niche, it was just browsing on Instagram. You see like this one guy, doing some marketing, and you're like, shit, like if this guy's doing it, a lot of people have this mentality. It's like, if this guy's doing it, I gotta figure, there's got to be a way for me to figure this out. You know what I mean?
there's so many. See, like some guys I spoke to at the start, like they're not doing it anywhere because the stuff's getting reopened again. Work's again, everybody's getting back to work and everyone's getting back to their jobs. So it's like I'm still sticking out. I'm not going back to any job. This is my job now. So I'm not going to go back and work a 9 to 5 and then try and learn this even more at night time and at weekends. I'm happy doing what I'm doing. So I also trade live account as well. So I'm happy. I don't need to go back to work.
It's pretty crazy how these past 2 years, even I guess it's been about 2 years since it all started. I mean, some people have really accelerated into learning new skills and starting at new careers, like completely digital online. And
Yeah,
then there's some people who've just literally done nothing. And it's like mind blowing to me how different people have approached this situation.
yeah,
But it's cool to be able to connect. Like for the most part, I'm only talking with people who've taken advantage of the time that they got back and really like transform that into new opportunity.
yeah,
So it's cool for me to be able to like connect, because like I feel like even with me, that's exactly what we've done over the last 2 years, is like really accelerate into a lot of the goals that we've had, just because we've been fucking locked inside,
yeah,
for so long, and it just kind of forces you to work on what you have to work on. That's really all
mhm,
there was to do at the end of the day. So yeah, that's definitely cool to hear, man, that you kind of, you set this intention of what you wanted to become. And I mean, you're in a position to get a lot closer to the ultimate goals that
yeah,
you've set, right? So that's definitely inspiring, right? For a lot of these people that are out there. And even if you're going back to work right now, guys, I mean, it's not like you should be sitting here like, damn, I should have started beginning of COVID. Like, you just start now. Like, you just don't make excuses. You just start now, and then you just keep going. And that's pretty much all it takes, right? You just don't give
I've
up.
got friends that I speak to and stuff. They're all going back to work and they're all saying, "Can you show me? Can you blah blah blah?" And I'm saying, "Yeah, I'll show you. No bother. You can still do this when you're at work. There's no excuses. You can still actually do it as long as you've got a good swing strategy." That's what I say to my friends. Like I've got a good swing strategy and I've worked hard at it, and like that's perfect for you. Like, do you know what I mean? It's you don't need to be sitting in front of the charts all day and blowing your minds out. That's what I still kind of do as well, but I don't really trade as much as what I used to. I just take what I see. I just wait. It's patient. You need to get all the madness out of your system first. I think when you first join trading, you're excited and you end up making 100 mistakes. And I've made a lot of mistakes and I've learned a lot. So I've got all that stuff out of my system, but you can still have make profits while you have a normal job. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I was looking at the strategy a little bit. So you're basically a swing trader. Did you start as a swing trader, or how did
Uh,
you kind of get into that strategy?
Picked up swing trading. I was actually in a group for 2 months or something, and I picked it up and I've just added bits to it and stuff. That was away last year. I've not really had a mentor or anything. I've not really been in groups and stuff. I've just like constantly trying to do my own stuff. But the strategy that I've been using on the challenge isn't really my own strategy. It's just it's a bit scalp. I've usually scalp a lot on the challenge, but when I get my funded account, I'll be mainly focusing on my real swing setups, because what's good about this company is you can hold over the weekend, hold over news. Like, my plan is to just hold for the full month if I can with my setups, depending obviously if I can get a good fortnight out of it, then I will. I'll just stick. I like holding on to my trades.
Yeah, and you're basically trading like Nas 100, right? Is that your main pair?
Yeah, I like that for scalping, but I've done a few swing trades on that as well. I've just closed out a nice swing trade on that, but I like NAS because its structure's really nice. I know it's fast moving and stuff, but I do like that. But I also trade FX. I trade most pairs in FX. If they're set up there, I'll mark it out, and if my alerts go off, and then I'll wait for obviously the candle confirmation, a few confirmations, and then I'll just take the trade and stuff. So as I'm saying, I'm going to treat it like a business. Do you know what I mean? It's no get rich quick, what everybody thinks.
Now, when it comes to the live account, you're obviously gone through the challenge. Now you're about to get in with the actual funded account. Does your strategy change at all? What's kind of your approach? What session are you going to be trading in? What's your overall thinking process going into it?
My strategy, my strategy I've got for swing trading doesn't change. I've not really showed it on the challenges because I'm trying to pass. Do you know what I mean? I'm trying to pass on that as much as I can, so as quick as I can as well. So basically, my strategy doesn't really change.
It's really the same. It's really the same.
It's just the exact same. But once I get my live account, then I can show you and the team that my strategy works and it's profitable. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So everyone out there, once he actually does get on the live account and make some profit, we'll come back. We'll run a second interview, and he'll dive into the charts a little bit, break down some of the trades, so you guys can see obviously his thinking process a little bit more in detail. I think that'll be pretty cool, something that everyone would wanna dive into. We'll definitely make that happen. So you said originally you were with FTMO. How did you kind of find the funded trader, and then ultimately what made you kind of switch over, or if you're still doing both, I mean, just what made you join funded trader?
Yeah, I'm only doing funded trader, and I will only be doing the funded trader. I'm not interested in going anywhere else. But when I came across you, as it was Blake on YouTube, I followed him because he speaks about a lot of prop firms. So I actually followed him just to keep an eye on the latest prop firm and stuff, what he thought. It's because he was involved as well. He's actually said he's opened his own prop firm, and that got me interested because there's so many shitty prop firms out there. It's trying to find one that you actually trust and see, because he had his YouTube community. Plus, you can trust him. You can tell you can trust him. So that's what made me jump on board. Like, I've been with you right for the start with the old dashboard and stuff.
So you've been in it. You've been in it from the beginning.
Yeah, I failed a few challenges. The reason why I failed them is because I think I was just over leveraging, I don't know, just trying fast. But it was on Blake on YouTube, but I can remember it was as soon as it came out, I bought a challenge straight away. But when I seen the old dashboard, that got me a wee bit worried with the old dashboard, because it wasn't resetting and stuff.
Yeah, the first dashboard was a little shaky,
Yeah.
for sure. But luckily we've been able to make some progress when it comes to the dashboard.
You have made massive progress. I think with the dashboard and stuff, the staff, just everything, the community has grown a lot. It's all good people on it as well. Like, if there's any bad people on it or anybody comes in, then they just get kicked out. It's as simple as that.
Yeah, we've been very systematic in trying to make sure that the community is growing and has the people that we want to have in there. There's always going to be a bad apple or a bad seed, right? There's always going to be people that come in, and at the end of the day, there are some people that are paying customers that just become problems. And for us, it's not about trying to milk clients for the money. It's more like, all right, long term, if we build a very stable community where people actually get value out of being a part of it, I believe that's what's going to differentiate us from a lot of these other firms. I mean, even FTMO, you know, not to throw any dirt on their name, but I was trading with FTMO as well. There's just no real sense of community, right? With their firm. And sure, I mean, they could go ahead and, you know, fix that, but I think any firm should try to build central, you know, community where people can go to ask questions if they need, but also it's really just about meeting kind of other people that are doing what you're doing. That's kind of been the biggest thing for me as I've built a trading community online and now we're building funded traders. It's like, man, I've met so many people that are doing so many different things, so many different strategies. And I mean, it's just inspiring, right? It's inspiring, especially when trading is very individual, right? It's very, you're just up in your room, like doing your thing. You know what I mean? So it's really positive to connect with other people that are doing what you're doing. Cause I mean, I'm sure you walk downstairs or walk down the street and someone asks what you're doing and you explain to them, they're like, what the hell are you talking about?
Yeah.
Right. So, you know, it's all these people understand exactly what you're doing in the community. So it's really wild. I mean, it's wild. We're building it pretty quickly. And obviously we have a lot of things in store to continue to kind of incentivize people to be a part of the Discord and just be a part of the whole funded trader experience, you know. So you've been in it from day one. So it's like for you, you've already seen the culmination of so many ideas like come to fruition, right? You've seen us say we're going to do this and then we actually get it done. And right now, the biggest thing that we're working on, that we've been working on, is really the broker, right? So everyone's kind of anticipating, when is that going to come on? People are saying like Nash isn't that great. Just to set this record straight, Nash has had its issues, and there are times during the day where it has lower liquidity, the spreads jump, but for the most part, Nash has been a pretty reliable partner. So I don't want to bash them in any way. Like they're definitely an average broker, above average, that worries about their clients and for the most part takes good care of us when we do have issues. So it's not like they're a terrible partner. I just want to make everyone aware of that. They're doing the best that they can at the end of the day. There's always going to be room for improvement, right? When we had FX Choice, right, there was so many things that people were commenting on that once we got Nash, it was like, wow, this is like night and day. And then now that there's Nash, there's so many things that people are commenting on for it to be better with. So there's always going to be critique. Like there's always going to be something else that people are going to want to have. So we just keep that in mind. Like people always say like, oh, I don't know how you guys deal with all the same questions, all the same thing, whatever. I mean, it's, you know, it comes hand in hand with offering a service, right? There's going to be new members. There's going to be people that complain. At the end of the day, like we know what we signed up for, and that's pretty much it, right?
Definitely.
So we welcome the feedback. It's all just to us feedback at the end of the day. It's like if we're thinking in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4 years, which if we're 7 years down the line, I mean, comparing ourselves to another firm, you know, there should be large scale improvement within the business. So we can't necessarily go too crazy about what's, you know, a small issue that's going on, you know, right now. So that's always like for us, just keeping the long-term vision. So for you, you said you did take several challenges. So say that you spent, I don't know, $4,500, right, on these challenges. Now that you get the 200K account, realistically, you only have to make about 2 to 3% to really break even. On that. So that's something that people underestimate. Like the one guy that got the 80K payout, I'm pretty sure he spent about 17,000 on challenges before he ended up passing and like getting the 600K. Like he had a 400K, failed it at like funded account. He failed the account. Then he got the 600K and then he hit the 10%, like, or about like 15% on it, and then got an 80K payout. So I think in terms of like risk reward, he did put a lot of money up front, you know, but he ended up cashing out big. So then at the end of the day, it did make sense. At the same time, if you guys don't actually have a strategy, don't keep buying challenges, because
exactly. That's what I done at the start with FTMO. When I was like 100K account, I'll just pass the challenge and then I'll just make money. Like and then you've got the rules and stuff, and then when you've not got a solid strategy, you're only trading. As soon as you jump on the charts, you're like, right, it's London Open, let's get in a trade instead of actually just waiting more patiently. Like I used to just jump in trades and just expect them to go my way, like, and I just failed the challenge. I was getting another one, failing the challenge. It was nuts. But as you said, you definitely need a good strategy at least, or a strategy that's going to make you profits before you keep buying these challenges, because you're just going to fail. And then you're going to blame the company, you're going to blame the broker, you're going to moan about it in the community. It's nuts.
Yeah, the brokers says this to us all the time about a lot of complaints that we're getting I mean, they're very standard complaints. The person that's losing always complains about certain things, and then as soon as they start winning, they stop complaining.
Yeah.
So it's a hard thing to navigate here. Obviously, there's some issues that are actually a problem that need to be resolved, but a lot of the times it just comes down to like this person's losing, and then they're going to make every excuse to everyone that this is like why they're losing, when like the person next to them is literally winning with the same conditions.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's just so hard to have like real compassion. That's why a lot of times people will message me and try to have like a very personalized resolution to their issue. And I'm like, listen, I'm like a robot. Like there are so many people complaining about so many similar things right now that we are just going to be as black and white as possible. We can't possibly cater to everyone's emotional response, everyone's emotional question, because then we wouldn't even have a business, right?
Exactly.
So we're just robotic in our response. There's rules. Like if you want to rebuttal the rules, more power to you. We're always open to hearing people out. But at the end of the day, it's like, the things are in black and white on the site. And that's pretty much what we're going to stick to.
Yeah.
So getting into like the account, once you do get that first payout, where's that money going to go?
The money that I get will just be going straight back into my personal account. I'm not too fussed about jumping up and going into the first nightclub and jumping into the first shop I buy and buy clothes. Like I'm over all that now. It's just reinvesting all the time. As you said, it's a digital world now. It's all coming together. There's no point in keeping in a bank account, in my opinion. I just reinvest. I just keep it and keep some in my bank and just reinvest the rest.
Yeah, so I mean, it's pretty cool to hear, because you are full time with trading right now.
Yeah.
What has been kind of the most challenging thing? I mean, you've been forced into it, so it's not like you quit your job and like made a leap. I mean, you kind of just had to do it. What does your schedule look like during the week? Like, how do you kind of go about your day and stuff?
Basically, I get obviously Mondays are slow for me, no less. Like I do all my chat work at the weekend, and then I'll do it through the week as well. And my schedule's not really on the charts all the time. It's mainly I try and make my money in the morning. If not, then I wait until the New York session. But if I've lost a few percent, then I'll take a step back. But my swing trades, I'll just if they hit my alert on TradingView, then I just wait for confirmations, then I'll take a trade. I don't really need to beat the charts all the time.
Right. So you're using TradingView to chart, and then you're just executing. You execute on your phone or on the desktop?
Depends. If I'm out, my alert will go off on my phone, then I'll look. But when my alert goes off, that just means it's at a zone. It doesn't mean that I should take the trade. Mm-hmm. So I just wait. If it's at my zone and an area I'm interested in, then I'll actually wait. Do you know what I mean? And then I'll decide then what I'm going to do.
Yep. So it sounds like the schedule, you're trading the London?
Yeah, look, if I scalp, I try and scalp mainly every day, but I'll wait for on NAS. I'll wait for 2:30 when the New York Stock Exchange opens. I'll wait because there's a lot of volume. There's some volume when London open buying when NAS, but I sometimes scalp GJ as well. That's only two pairs I really scalp. They're my main pairs.
Now, you've been with us for a good while. I mean, from the beginning. You're about to get the funded account, so you're about to get the next experience with the funded trader. Based on what you've kind of seen thus far with the community, you know, us making the changes that we have. Long term, you know, where do you kind of see the funded trader going in the space? What do you kind of see for us in the future?
For yous, hopefully I'm still with yous. I'm trying to build up my accounts so that I can get my 600k account. But hopefully that I'm with yous for at least another year, at least another few years, because once you sort the broker and stuff out, I can see yous going sky high. Yous, I think yous will be at the top, right at the very top. FTMO's a dinosaur. I think that will just start to wear down, you know, yous will just start to come up. I only hear your name now. It's yours and another prop firm. I only hear two names. FTMO, I don't really hear from them anymore. I've just come off all social media as well because it's just a lot of noise. So I've not really been on social media a lot, but I think that yours will be at the top of the game in 2 years' time. 2 years, I think.
The way that I see it, man, is that it's not even about like taking market share from another firm. You know, there are just so many people really getting involved in this online trading community.
Yeah.
So there's just so many people, right? So it's not like we need to poach people from this group, that group, right? There's just so many traders that inherently are getting into the markets, that are finding strategies, that are newly interested in working remotely for prop firms. So for us, I mean, we're just looking to continue to spread our footprint, you know, across social media, continue to showcase the people that are trading, that are doing well, and obviously provide resources to the people that aren't doing as well. And really, I mean, if we can, just like I said, incentivize the funded group as much as we can, because at the end of the day, I mean, you're realistically becoming a contracted employee of the funded trader, right? When you become, so at the end of the day, it's like if we can have company perks like trips, like the top trader earns this at the end of the year, like we're already discussing at the end of the year what the person who basically has made the most money, if their account is still live, you will have to be eligible, your account will still have to be live. We're gonna do some type of trip for them, like we'll basically gift them, you know, some type of week long like voucher, some stuff. So we're gonna continue to bring those things that I think people don't think about as things that matter. But at the end of the day, it's really just like how can we give back to those people that are making our community bigger, right? By contributing us. I mean, you're already obviously contributing by trading, right? That's the biggest thing. But I think those little details like here and there are really going to go a long way. So those are things that we're going to continue to bring to our community. And anyone that's out there listening to the interview and listening to obviously like for the first time the funded trader, if you guys do want to get involved, I'll post down below the details where you guys can get on the website. Definitely make sure to hit up the live chat. We do have 24/7 coverage at this point, and really the best place to ask any questions is going to be inside of the Discord. There is a support channel in there where you guys can create tickets and get in touch directly with myself and other support team members. So that being said, Andy, obviously best of luck to you tomorrow getting the funded account. Obviously, definitely a big milestone for you to get started, and we look forward to hopping on the next interview and, you know, hopefully going through your account, getting a payout going, and you know, going up and beyond from here.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. And everyone, make sure to like and subscribe this video. Thanks again for watching, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.